You know, I think part of what draws me to have an online presence is that growing up, I did not see a lot of women like me. I didn't get to witness a lot of women of my demeanor, but also stature. Sturdy gal. And oftentimes, when I would witness women who were similar to myself in stature, mostly what I would see was an attempt to minimize, to ultimately make ourselves smaller, more sort of palatable, I suppose. And that's kind of the extent of what I got as a young woman. Everyone goes through their own sort of journey of, self-love and self-understanding and this and that. But I found that ultimately a lot of times all I ever witnessed was a non-ending pursuit for thinness, a never-ending pursuit to be smaller, thinner, as little as possible, as little of yourself as possible. And I have come to the conclusion that that doesn't need to be the ultimate path. And I know that that's oftentimes the only path that young women like myself are given. And so that is the pursuit that we have for most of our lives. And I will tell you that that path does not necessarily take you to a very good place. People that have known me personally for a long time know that I struggled with weight and body image issues for a good portion of my life. And I definitely gave it the good college try a lot. I've done everything. I've done it all. I've been on Jenny Craig. I've been on Weight Watchers. I've eaten cabbage soup. I've drank the cinnamon, cayenne, honey water. I have done it all. I've done it all. And what that got me? That got me to a point where I was hitting up 3 different fast food places the second I got access to a car, and then I would sit in the last fast food parking lot and I would eat that food alone in shame and then deeply regret it afterwards, obviously, because I had a huge stomach ache, because no person is meant to eat like that. But it was this very unhealthy relationship with something that I couldn't avoid, because food is sustenance and food is life and food is existence. And it was also my greatest love. And I cook for a living and I love to eat. Food is probably my greatest love because I respect it so much, and I feel like it was an unrequited love for a long time, because it was like star-crossed lovers, me and the food I wish I could be eating. But now as an adult, I understand that what was missing in my youth was an alternative path, and I will give you that alternative path right now. If you are a young woman and you are built a little bit wider, a little bit sturdier, I'm Eastern European, so I've got those drought slash food famine resistant genes for sure. The alternative to the chasing of thinness is to chase power. And power is not often something that is really suggested to young women. But I will tell you that that is the way to go. You search for power. Power in yourself, power in your body, power in your ability. And then through that power, you will gain self-trust and self-respect. And you will develop a deep love and understanding for how your body works and the best things that you can do for it. I lift weights like crazy because I have a very heavy engine. My body is extremely powerful. And, growing up, I did channel that a little bit. I loved being in sports. Now, it was a little bit different. I couldn't really be in track because I wasn't a very fast runner. It was difficult to move so much of myself. But I could throw shot put like nobody's business. You know, when I was wrestling, I would have to wrestle teachers because I was a big old gal. I would play football and I really enjoyed it. I loved things that made me feel powerful. And as an adult, I am definitely channeling that because that is where true health and understanding of your body lies. I power lift because it gives all of the energy that my body has inside of itself a place to go. And then I take myself on long walks. I take myself on long walks and I make sure that my cardiovascular health is where it needs to be. But quite frankly, I just do not concern myself with my weight anymore because there's no goal. There's no end result for that. We have this image in our minds of what our bodies should look like. And then we pursue this image using these heinous self-destructive methods that ultimately just destroy your body from the inside. They do. These restrictive diets, these up and downs, it is wearing away at your heart, at your organs, your kidneys and your liver. You are not meant to live in a perpetual state of restriction. What you need to do is figure out what your body wants to do with the energy that it has inside of itself. And then you exert that energy in whatever way feels good, in whatever way feels fulfilling and fun. You have to have fun. If it's discipline is all well and good, but if you cannot sustain physical activity for the span of your entire life, then it's not meant for you. I think the main reason why I come on here and I post things about my working out and my walks and my dinners and all of the things that I like to go out and do is because I just never saw a woman like me pursue a truly fulfilling life where she wasn't preoccupied with what her body looked like while it was happening, where she wasn't preoccupied with what she should be eating, what she shouldn't be eating. I can't even give you a time that I met with my own family members where we didn't end up devolving into a conversation about diet and weight and this is all happening around a table of wonderful food that we all lovingly prepared or bought for each other because we care about each other. But no, the primary focus of all of our mental energy was minimization and whittling ourselves down and making ourselves smaller. And I simply will not live that way. I don't want to. It's not for me. I'm not interested. This is good. This is great. I'm about to go, take it to the gym and I'm going to go throw a man's weight around and it's good and it's fun and it makes me feel powerful. And I think that if you pursued something that made you feel powerful every day, what an impact that would have on everything else, on the entire mood through which you live your life. You don't have to do it anymore. I give you permission. You don't have to be on a diet anymore. You don't. You just need to feed yourself the way that you would feed yourself if you loved yourself deeply. If you loved yourself with every fiber of your own being and you looked in your own eyes and you said, you know what, I really love you and I appreciate you. And I appreciate this body that you give me every day. And if you had that in your heart and soul and then you made decisions based off of that feeling, you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. Anyway, I'll see you guys later and I love you.